We are back to basics with this episode where Chan is playing a double Aqua and a Dusk front lane team being rank 1 in Axie Infinity leaderboards with 2.6k MMR. Now, a double Aqua with a plant or a Dusk at the front has been around for a long time, and Chan is running the balloon back lane, the Acro mid lane, and then a Caterpillar front lane, which is actually very interesting. So we're gonna dive into those games and we will see how Chan navigates this relatively common team to become a rank 1. In game number 1, Chan is facing a double plant and a bird, but the bird is with a twist. It actually has a shrimp. Maybe that's the meta right now, rather than going for the little owl, which is pretty bad. I'm gonna say it. It's pretty bad. You can go for the shrimp, which has 25 damage, and then you still get some shield on top of it, and then you have place for the peacemaker, which has 120 damage. So yeah, round 1, probably not too much that will happen. They just go for a skip, and round 2 is where the shenanigans begin. So the shrimp, Cupid, and double peacemaker, will that be enough to take down the Aqua on the backlane with 70 shield? I don't think this is just enough. He's missing 35 damage, so well played from Chan, putting up just enough shield to survive out this attack. And then with the Koi, he's going to speed himself up, which means that in the next round he will be quicker than the bird, so this Aqua will not die before he gets to play his cards. Now, 129 damage from the Caterpillar is actually insane. So having Caterpillar front lane might actually be the new meta, because not only do you get 110 damage, you still get 50 shield. Same with the Sandal and same with the Goda. If you play these cards, you can deal an insane amount of damage, and then you still have some shield on top of it. So the trade went quite similar. His front lane plant is relatively low. Our back lane Aqua is quite low, and the question is, can we kill this plant off? Our opponent does go for somewhat of a skip, and we can finish that front lane plant off. Now in round 4, he goes for an eggshell, dealing 102 damage, and now with the Koi, double Nemo and an Acro, that's not enough to kill this bird, but it gets it low. Well done for the use of eggshell. He knew exactly that Chan has 2 energy, therefore he wouldn't be able to kill this bird. Going for the Cactus, Gravelant, and Mosquito. I'm not sure the Gravelant is actually necessary, because we already used double Caterpillars, so he knows that we won't have it. And we also, I think we used one of the Godas, so maybe the Gravelant is a bit of a stretch, and it wasn't needed in that scenario. Now the Scarab completely counters this plant. The Mosquito Bite is good, it does heal for a lot, but unfortunately, if we do get Scarabed in the face, you'll not heal for anything, as you can see right here. 71 heal, that was just wasted. Now the shrimp and the eggshell, sacrificing the bird is a good choice in round 6, because you really want to go 1v1 with the plant rather than the bird. The bird does die, and the opponent of Chan has a Gravelant and a Mosquito. Unfortunately, Chan does draw another Scarab, disabling the heal. If that heal was not disabled, if you didn't draw a Scarab, this would have actually been quite a difficult 1v1. Because the opponent could keep queuing Gravelant and keep healing with Mosquito. So you can see right here that Chan is waiting for a double Scarab, because he wants to break the shield and then deal enough damage to kill the plant off. If you were to play that one Scarab, you would probably still lose this game, but going for the double Scarab is the best way to do that. So let's jump into game number 2. But before we do, the sponsor of this video is Revolve Games. Revolve Games is building a blockchain gaming metaverse with an MMORPG game style, where users can battle for resources and territory. In-depth game mechanics will release soon, but more importantly, Revolve Games also has a system where you can generate tethered assets through staking RPG tokens. That is the native token of Revolve Games. To do that, you have to sign in the top right of the screen. Select the network that you wish to proceed with. They currently support Polygon as well as Binance Smart Chain. Then navigate to the left to generate assets. Select the amount of assets you want to stake, let's say 10, and choose the race that you want to go with. They currently have 3 races: Desin, Trilcar, and Aegon. If you're happy with your choices, click enable and complete the transaction. It's that simple, and we have now generated a Revolve Game assets. You can reroll the traits for 2%, or you can accept the character. Let's accept the one that we have, and that's it. Once your assets are staked and your character is generated, you can get booster points. Now booster points are rewarded through gameplay and aggregate in dormant pool. They also need to be redeemed to take effect. On the screen there is a cool animation on how the booster points work after you play the card game, which will release very soon. For more information, visit revolvegames.io website and start staking RPG tethered NFT assets. All of the links will be down below, and thank you to Revolve Games once again for sponsoring this video. In game number 2, Chan is facing a team that was made very popular in season 19 by Indes because he won the season with it, and that's the Beach Sandal front lane, the Acro Scarab mid lane, and then the Hair Bed in the back lane. Now what's important to mention right here is that the bird did get a nerf on the hair and he did get a nerf on the shield, but because the skill factor has been changed in season 20, the hair still does 141 damage, which is really good. So running this bird can be a very cheap option, and it still does good damage. Round 1, they both exchange a little bit of health on the front lane tanks rather, and then the opponent goes for a Goda, destroying one of the energy, which is a good play. Knowing if your opponent is going to skip playing that Goda is always going to get you some value, especially in round number 2 is probably the best round to use it. Round 3, Chan is close to killing that plant, but doesn't just do it. Round 4, going for the risky fish as well as the scarab, while his aqua is sped up, is going to be a decent choice. Now we finally killed this plant. It's round number 4 and we just killed this plant, but we are going to lose the mid lane aqua. It's actually not that bad to lose this mid lane aqua because we have plenty of cards on our back lane and we do have the koi to speed ourselves up. So with just 3 cards we can kill this bird, and then we can go for another koi, finish off on the balloon, so our opponent has to use a 0 cost or he has to waste card to clear the balloon. And you can see right here that he's left on just 50 health. He's gonna go for the double acro, speed himself up, and he's actually going to be quicker than us, but he doesn't have the energy to finish Chan backlane aqua off, and just queuing up the double koi would have been enough, but he surrenders. So yeah, that's a very well played game from Chan. Even though he lost the front lane and the mid lane quicker, he was still able to take the win and use the koi effectively. Game number 3, Chan is facing pretty much a mirror team where his opponent is running a backlane cuckoo rather than a backlane balloon. So let's see which team is actually superior. Round 1, they both go for curtail, except the opponent does go for a sandal, getting that little bit of extra damage in. But then allows us to draw a curtail from that as well. So going for the curtail again, trying to get some extra cards and also go for the Goda to steal that energy. Opponent goes for a Nemo, which I think is a big mistake, knowing that we still have a Goda. He shouldn't really go for the Nemo unless he knows that he's going to kill this Dusk. Then obviously going for the Nemo does make sense. So losing that 1 energy playing that Goda does hurt quite a bit, as it's now round 3 and we still haven't dealt any damage to this front lane Dusk. Now going for the double acro is going to allow Chan to speed himself up and allow him to strike first in round number 4 to finish off this Dusk, and then he can queue up just enough cards to kill this mid lane as well. So going for the double piranha, a little bit of an overkill, but he was probably expecting some shield to come through, and then going for the double piranha, and I believe that's Oranda and a balloon. I think that's a mistake. I think he should have went for a kill right here, unless that's a kill. That's actually a kill. That's my mistake. That is well done. Going for the kill. Now double koi, Oranda and a balloon. I don't really see how he can lose this game. Double koi, Oranda and a balloon puts him down to 107 health, and now the opponent does go for a double koi and a balloon. Okay, this is the lost game. That is very unfortunate. If Chan didn't attack, then he would have left the opponent on higher health, which means that actually he would be slower as well. The thing is, the opponent is going quicker because he's lower health, so as long as he draws 4 cards that deal 120 damage, he will be fine right here, and that's exactly what he does, and Chan has no way to win this game, which is unfortunate because it did go well, but that backlane Blue Moon Piranha dealing 141 damage on each card is an absolute killer. Let's jump into the marketplace to see how much this team costs if you want to build it for yourself. Right at the front you have a Dusk with a Goda Caterpillars, which is a new very strong card, Sandal and a Cattail, so very bug and beast heavy cards. $435. Now let's see if we can get its higher health. So I believe that's going to be what, 50, maybe 56 health, something like that. 54. Yeah, 54 health is going to be the maximum that you can get, and that's $550. That is an insane amount. So unless you're going for the top rankings of the leaderboards or you're taking part in some tournaments, that is probably going to be too expensive. Let's have a look at the mid lane Aqua. The mid lane Aqua having a Nemo, a Acro, and then a Scarab with a Piranha for the high damage from Aqua cards. That is going to be a 52 speeds Aqua, and that will cost you $220. So we are already up to about $770, which is an insane amount for a team in season 20. And right at the back, what we want is a full speed Aqua, so a Balloon, we want a Koi, and we want a Piranha with Oranda, so we have some 120 damage cards, so we do all right in the matchups versus Aquas as well. And that's $580. That is an insane amount. Like, this Aqua used to cost about $200 2 or 3 weeks ago, but now it has skyrocketed, absolutely skyrocketed to an insane amount, because it looks like it's the meta at the start of the season. So what I would actually do is definitely wait for the meta to settle down a little bit, and then you can pick this up much cheaper in a week or two. You can see this one, if this team does become an absolute meta, picking this one up with 820,000 ID is probably a wise choice if you are looking to win the Axie Infinity leaderboards. But let's jump into the last game of the episode, and let's see if Chan can make it 3-1 for the day. And in game number 4, and the last game, Chan is facing a double Aqua team that I am a big fan of, a team that I'm currently running myself, which is the Spiky Wing backlane. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the Goda yet. I'm gonna need to pick that one up. Round 1, the opponent does go for a double Nemo, which is probably the worst choice that you can make, knowing that the opponent does have access to double Goda. That's just an absolute waste of a double Nemo, right? You either should skip, or you should use all of the energy that you have. I mean, it's not going to matter that much because you played the double Nemo and he played the double Goda, but it's just unnecessary, in my opinion, to be playing a double Nemo in round number 1. Now, in round 2, they swap a little bit of health. Chan does decide to skip that round, and in round 3, Acro and Piranha is going to be enough to finish that Dusk off. Maybe that was a little bit too passive, but it could have been okay to keep this plant alive, so he does draw some extra cards to the plant, which doesn't actually happen. And in round 4, Chan loses his mid lane Aqua. Now, this is going to be very difficult to play. I believe he should have went for a double Koi, knowing that he has access to all the cards. Not going for a double Koi here is actually a mistake, because actually no, it's fine, because he's always going to be quicker than the backlane Aqua of his opponent. Now he has to go for a double Koi. Is that going to be a kill? I don't think it is. So double Koi, Piranha, and a Balloon. Again, I made the same mistake thinking that it's not going to be a kill, but it's clearly a kill. Now, double Oranda together with a Piranha and a Koi is definitely not going to be enough to take the kill. He's missing just 19 health. So he did do a 1v2 with this Aqua, but missed out on 19 damage to kill the backlane Aqua. And that's going to be it for this episode, 2-2. So it looks like this team does have some counters to it. Maybe it was just unfortunate games, but Chan is still top 1 with this team. And if you want to pick it up for yourself, it's going to be about 1.2k, which in my opinion is an insane amount for a team in Season 20. But if you wanted to pick it up, that's how much it will cost. If you enjoyed this episode, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily playthrough and content, and I will see you in the next one.